Hello, ladies and gentlemen. So, this story is developing, and I believe that more is going to come out of this because it is all over the internet, it's all over Yahoo, it's all over all the social media sites about this cheating scandal. And it's crazy because I knew this was going on. Deep down on the inside, I knew that this was going on because there's no way that this couldn't be going on because there's always something behind some of these individuals who make it seem as though they just have an easy ride and that they're intelligent, they worked hard, they're smart, they're superior than others who don't have the same ambition as they do. They try to make all these excuses and build all these walls around themselves to make themselves seem better than others. And, some people seem like they just kind of skate through life and they really don't have very many obstacles in their way because someone's always lying for them. They're always cheating for them. They're always paying their way for everything. They're always buying them out of their troubles. And here we are. So, you want to know how some of that happened? Well, this article points out the really, really smart guy who aced the SATs for the rich students. And I will always regret the scandal. This is what he says. He says he'll always regret it, but he was making money cheating for those kids because the parents were paying the fee. They were paying him. This is by Joey Garrison out of USA Today. So I'm going to pan down on this article because it has a video attached to it. I'm not really concerned about that. It just basically goes over the steps and how they were, given the opportunity to cheat. So, to pull off the largest college admission bribery scheme in the US of history, prosecutors say a middleman working for the rich and powerful. Now, listen to this. They were rich and powerful people. And to my knowledge, they still are because, if you look at the headlines, they're able to bond themselves out and bail themselves out. I mean, in the millions and the thousands. And so it says they were rich and powerful parents that funneled money to a private school counselor in Florida to secretly take their children's ACT and SAT exams. So Mark Riddle of Palmetto, Florida, is accused of being the test taker in the explosive cheating scandal. Riddle is 36 years of age and is a 2004 graduate of Harvard University, where he starred in tennis. So he also briefly played pro tennis. So he has athletic abilities and he's very intelligent. And since 2006, he worked as a director of a college entrance exam preparation at IMG Academy in Brenton, Florida. Okay, Bradenton, Florida, a prestigious private boarding school for high school student athletes that has produced elite college players and professional athletes at IMG Academy, which is IMG suspended Riddle following the indictment on Tuesday. So prosecutors say that sometimes Riddle himself took the test for the students, and in other instances, he corrected their answers after the test was turned in. They say it went on for about from 2011 to February. So he was just a really smart guy, said Andrew Lelling, U.S. Attorney of the District of Massachusetts, which is leading the prosecution in the sweeping case. He did not have inside information about the correct answers. He was just very smart enough to get a near perfect score on demand or to calibrate the scores. So Riddle apologized for the needless actions. So Riddle has been charged with 2 counts of conspiracy involving both mail fraud and money laundering for his critical role in the cheating portion of the elaborate conspiracy that has led to criminal charges against 50 people, including 33 affluent parents. So the scheme also involved bribes to the college coaches and prosecutors, has said. So he is set to appear in federal court in Boston April 12th for a waiver of indictment and plea to information hearing. So, in a statement provided by his attorney on Wednesday, Riddle apologized for what he had called his needless actions, saying that he understands how they contributed to the loss of trust in the college admission process. So, he said he accepts full responsibility for what he has done. But he added that he wants to clarify that he absolutely unequivocally never bribed anyone and rejected an assertion that he claims has risen in media coverage. So the Justice Department has not accused him of bribery, but rather accepting the payments. So in what will always, he says he always will regret the choices that he made, but I also believe that more than 1,000 students I legitimately counseled, inspired, and helped reach their goals in my career will paint a more complete picture of the person that he truly is, Riddell said. And so this guy that you're looking at here, prosecutors say Riddell will typically get paid $10,000 per test, paid by William Rick Singer. So this is William Rick Singer right here. And so he was paying Riddell, the test taker, $10,000 per test. So Singer, he's from Newport Beach, California. This is a suspected ringleader of the international scheme. Singer operated a sham counseling nonprofit and received more than 25 million in bribe payments since 2011 from parents looking to get their underqualified students into elite colleges and universities, according to the federal charging documents. So this is Singer right here, and he's very wealthy, and he was paying the test taker 10,000 per test, and he's wealthy himself, but he was also getting money from the parents to pay the test taker. So he also had set up a nonprofit that was a phony charitable donation. It wasn't real, it wasn't legit. And mind you, if you're wealthy and you're rich, IRS is going to have to step into this picture, because when you donate to charities as a wealthy person, you get tax breaks. And so IRS has got to step in somewhere. There's multiple lawsuits, though, going on right now as we speak on this issue. So Rydell's cheating was enabled by 2 test administrators, Nikki Williamson in Houston and Igor Dvorsky in Los Angeles, who received bribe money from Singer as well, according to the prosecutors. So they would then return the falsified tests to the ACT and the SAT. Okay, so Lelling said that Singer and the parents would settle on an appropriate test score before the ACT and the SAT was administered, so that it would not increase by such a large amount that it would raise suspicion if the student had taken the test before. Rydell would then try to hit that number. So he has, or he was just good enough to do it, Lelling said. So in one instance describing in the charging document, Rydell called Singer after taking an ACT exam from a Houston hotel room July 14th of last year, and he predicted that he would score 35 out of 36. He ended up scoring just at 35. So High School Sports Academy launches its own investigation as well. IMG Academy, Rydell employer for more than a dozen years, has a boarding school for student athletes as well as a training program in a wide range of sports. So the academy, which is not implicated in the federal case, issued a brief statement Tuesday night on Twitter announcing Rydell's suspension, which Rydell is a test taker again. So it came as the Academy also appeared to remove a biographical page of Rydell from its website. So today we were made aware of the charges against Mark Rydell. Rydell has been suspended indefinitely as we investigate the matter further. IMG statement reads, so IMG wrote this on Twitter, official statement. So today we were aware of the charges against Mark Rydell, and Rydell has been suspended indefinitely as we investigate the matter further. So some of the cream of the crop in the sports have attended IMG Academy, according to the school's website. So their athletes have gone on to play for the NFL, the NBA, and the MLB, professional tennis and golf, accounting for 133 professional all-star appearances, 3 Heisman Trophy winners, 63 Most Valuable Players awards, 14 collegiate national titles, 29 world championship titles, and 32 Olympic medals. So in the current 2019 graduating class, IMG has 7 football players who are ranked in 247 sports, top 300 recruiting prospects list, and 3 are ranked at the top 10. So how the cheating transcription or transaction unfolded, prosecutors say, so parents involved in the cheating scheme would make donations to Singer organization, and to facilitate the cheating, prosecutors say that Singer often counseled the parents first to seek extended time on the child's SAT or ACT exam by having the children pretend to have learning disabilities. So Singer would pay $10,000 to Dvorsky, who administered the ACT exams at a Los Angeles private high school, and would pay $5,000 to Williams, who oversaw testing at a Houston public school. And so a court filing outlined charges against Rydell, describing an agreement for a $50,000 payment that one that a defendant identified as parent one made to Singer in exchange for Rydell taking the ACT exam in place of their son. So Singer provided Rydell with a sample of the son's handwriting on July 13th, and the document says that so that he could imitate it if he had to write his handwriting down or write like the student. Rydell flew from Tampa, Florida to Houston later that same day. And so Williams, the test administrator, is accused of providing the test on July 14th to Rydell, who then completed the exam in his hotel room. The next day, Singer mailed a $10,000 check to Rydell, prosecutors say, and a $5,000 check to Williams, who sent the exam to the ACT scoring unit days later, and Parent One wired $35,000 to Singer's group as a partial payment towards the $50,000 fee. In addition to this conspiracy charges, federal prosecutors are also seeking to recover $447,000 forfeitures from Rydell. And so there's 600 and probably even more, 677 reactions. A lot of angry people. Lawsuits are happening behind all of this. And so this is Singer right here. So he is William Rick Singer, and he was what they call the ringleader behind all of this right here. And so, what are your thoughts and feedback and comment on this? What I'm thinking is that if they can cheat on these exams and they can use their money to buck the system, usually wealthy people complain about their tax dollars and where it's being spent and who's abusing their tax dollars, who's abusing their money, and why do they have to pay for this and that and the other, and why do they have to shell out money to help people who are in need in all of this. They always complain about people who are living below the poverty level, and there's this weird, you know, thing going on where there's the super, super wealthy, and then there's the super, super poor. And money just seems to not really be getting to distributed around to everyone. And somehow there's certain people that are able to acquire all this money. So I always sensed that there was some scam going on with these individuals, that if they lie and cheat and steal and bribe to do things like this to get their kids in college, what other things do they lie, cheat, and steal and bribe to work their way to the top? Think about it. I'm sure this is not the only arena that they're lying, cheating, and stealing and bribing their way to get through and to have, this luxury lifestyle and to have this easy life and be able to buy their way out of their troubles and buy their way into anything that they want. These are people who are extremely egocentric, narcissistic, greedy, and evil spirited. And this was orchestrated, I believe, a lot longer than 2011. I think this is an ongoing thing. And I think that it's not just in the school system. I would not be surprised if it's even in housing. I believe it's in the housing system too, because some people were shut out of housing, and that's historical. But you know what? They act like that hasn't happened anymore, like that chapter is closed. I would bet the rising rents and the housing market, somehow some of these people play a part in some of that. The unfairness, the skyrocketing rents, and how they treated people in the past who tried to become homeowners, and all of a sudden some person comes along with all this cash. You have to fill out all these applications and fill out all these questions and go through all these steps to try to go through home buyer programs, but you seem to never get there fast enough, and all your money has to be accounted for where it comes from. But what about these people right here? What do you think? Couldn't there be other individuals that are scamming, but even the housing market, where they just come up with wild amounts of cash, large amounts of cash, and they don't go through all the process that other people who are working hard go through? No, they just come and lump their cash down, and those people see it, and they say, "Here, fine, you got the house." So I'm sure that this is not just going on in the school systems, but like they said, they're even investigating high schools. It's not even in the universities. It's not just there. It doesn't stop there. When you lie, when you cheat, when you steal, you do it everywhere. Everywhere you go that you think you can get away with it. If you got away with it at the universities, you surely could get away with it at the lower level schools, the secondary schools. You surely can get away with it in other arenas that have to do with your social well being so that you can live a lavish life of luxury. Oh, yeah, you best believe that there's other people, more than 50, I bet, more than 33 parents, more than 50 people involved in this. And I bet there's more arenas that this kind of thing is going on where people lie, cheat, steal, and there's scandal going on, and we will hear about it. They're just trying to cover their tracks. These people were really crafty, they were elaborate about what they did. So, anyway, without further ado, I don't know if this will play, but this pretty much outlines what they did and how they did it and how crafty they were with it. And I wouldn't be surprised if now there are other people looking at this and they're trying to do the same thing, and now they're trying to cover their tracks, but it's going to happen again. You best believe it's going to repeat itself again. They're just going to be a lot clever and a lot sneakier with trying to cheat.
Photoshopping faces onto different students' bodies, paying millions. Photoshopping faces onto different students' bodies, paying millions in bribes. All of this was allegedly part of a scam to ensure that kids from rich American families got into college. We have the facts. In conversations with parents recorded by the FBI under a court-approved warrant, admissions consultant William Singer described the process. The front door meant getting into college on their own. Most students take the SAT or the ACT, write essays, and get recommendation letters, all factors that would help a student's admission. The average cost for an SAT or ACT tutor can range anywhere between $50 to $200 an hour. But as colleges have been getting more competitive, especially in the elite schools, some of the wealthiest families have discovered loopholes. The back door is institutional advancement, one of which is becoming a major donor to colleges. The nation's wealthy buy their children into prestigious schools with tax write-offs and other donations. Now, there's this side door. It's the door that admission consultant William Singer had on getting his clients into college. The key to the door had a price, anywhere between $15,000 to $75,000 per test. Here's how Singer did it. The first of which, bribing college exam administration. Singer's sham college counseling group would help set up bribes to administrators of the SAT and ACT. These administrators would take the test for the student or give them the answers during the exam. And in some cases, their test might be revised after. Standardized exams would generally take place in large group sessions. Those students with disabilities are allowed extra time. That meant parents would have to lie about their children having a learning disability. Universities and colleges who compete in sports nationally have special slots designated for student athletes. Typically, the academic requirements for such slots are less stringent than they would be for a traditional student. Parents paid Singer between $100,000 and $6.5 million to carry out the athletics admission scheme. In exchange, coaches would reserve an admission slot for sports that students wouldn't even play. On some occasions, photos of athletes were doctored using Photoshop. Despite the tabloid details, the ones who this scandal really affects are lower income and middle income students who don't have the advantage of donating a building or paying thousands to cheat.
So that's pretty much how they did it. Pretty clever, isn't it? So if they can do stuff like that, what other arenas, what other areas could they bribe and scheme and scandal to get their way through? What other people are involved? See, you're just seeing these individuals and some famous people. So they always highlight them. But what other people are involved and what other arenas are involved that where they do this kind of stuff so that they can live this lovely, lavish lifestyle of the rich, wealthy, and famous, or the rich. You don't necessarily have to be famous to be rich. And like they said, if you got the money, you can pay your way, try to scheme your way and lie and cheat and bribe your way through. I always knew that was going on. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that one out. And I'm sure it's not just in universities to try to get in good colleges, but I bet it's also to try to get in housing. It's to try to get in jobs. It's to try to get in a lot of things. Think about it. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for listening.